Massive tsunami is coming. Liquidity, liquidity, liquidity. I'm going to show you today in today's video how we went from an administration that was completely against cryptocurrency, was taking us to full centralization, maybe a CBDC, to complete decentralization, public and private sector coming together, and a system that you can be involved in. On this channel, this is not about get rich quick. This is about understanding macro and microeconomics. Your job is to beat inflation. Beat inflation. If we run 2% inflation every single year, do you realize that your money is cut in half, the value of your dollar, every 35 years? So if you're not beating inflation, now what does that mean? I'll give you an example. From 2020 to 2024, in the old regime, we lost about 19% of our purchasing power. So what I did is I beat inflation. Take out what to invest in. Ask yourself what will beat inflation. I looked in the landscape of the financial system and I saw a dramatic change from an inflationary US dollar that's just going to continue to become less valuable. Okay. And I saw this new asset class like cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, fixed supply, 21 million. Interesting. A supply and demand problem. And what happens when there's less supply and more demand? The price goes up. Then I saw this thing called Xrp that I understand the technology coming from the banking system, fixed supply. It burns every single time. It's deflationary. Well, that sounds much better than the inflationary dollar. And all I did was get access to it. I didn't listen to the naysayers. I worked to beat inflation. I beat hurdle rates. And now we're developing financial freedom. So I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm going to share with you what I do. And what I want to do is educate you so you understand how to do it and what to do. So on the back end of every video, I share with you exactly what I'm doing. I also have an education section on here where I break down every single strategy that I have. So let's first dive in. And I want to show you how much the regime has changed. This was Gary Gensler. And I don't mean to laugh, but it's kind of a funny video, man. This girl clowns Gary Gensler on CNBC. So Chair Gensler, the former Chair Gensler, make that very clear. Markets will be more volatile if companies only report earnings twice a year. This dude is like the negative Nancy, the Karen of the financial system. Now, she punks him. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this is because this is how much the regime has changed. Just listen.
And the crypto community is ecstatic not to have you there anymore, and to have him there right now. What you did around security.
Sorry, that's gangster. I don't know her name, but that was gangster, man. Like, yeah, that was good job. Good job. Speaking your truth, girl.
And enforcement actions. And looking back on it, I mean, do you think that was the right call?
Yes, I think.
Because look, now we have this like burgeoning industry, and there's so much more innovation and leadership in the U.S.
and a lot more capital coming into it.
There may be more capital in terms of the interest in the public. The public is interested. I get that. But I took an oath of office. I also ran a law enforcement agency. And my predecessor, Jay Clayton, a very fine individual, ran the SEC. He's now the head of...
who sued Ripple, who launched a case against Ripple and then left to consult for a cryptocurrency firm, who also sits on the FDIC board. Come on, guys.
Law enforcement agency.
The Bank Bailing Committee board.
See, again, up here in New York.
Yep.
Was bringing many cases in this field. Was bringing over his tenure about 80 to 100 cases. Over my tenure, we brought about 100 cases. We were consistently trying to ensure for investor protection. And in the midst of it, we had a lot of fraudsters. Look at Sam Bankman-Fried, and he wasn't alone. And so investor protection. So when I look at the field that trades mostly on momentum.
Okay. Anyways, that's how much of the regime has changed. Okay. Then a year ago, the anniversary of Trump, exactly 1 year ago, this was yesterday, Donald Trump became the first U.S. president to make a payment in Bitcoin. Fast forward 12 months, and Trump has launched his own meme coin, Trump, WLFI, their own DeFi platform, and USD1, the fastest growing stablecoin in history. That's how fast things have changed in 1 year, guys. 1 year. Think about how fast things are going to change in the next 3 years. I've been trying to show you guys the game. By 2030, the whole system's going to be rewired. This is kind of fun. This was put up around, I think it was around Washington, right? What does it say here? Things look golden for President Trump Wednesday when a group unveiled a 12-foot tall statue of him outside the U.S. Capitol. It's a group that did this, not like Trump did this. The crypto investors who funded the golden statue, Trump holding a Bitcoin timed, is unveiled with Federal Reserve interest rates announcement. Okay. Paul Barron posted this, just getting started. Okay. Semi-shock. Okay. Rex XRP ETF, XRPP is already 24 million in volume. That is way more than I would have thought. For context, it's 5x more than any of the XRP future ETFs did on day one, and it's only been 90 minutes. Okay. We're getting warmed up, guys. We're getting warmed up. Here we go. Liquidity, liquidity. Okay. We know these are the type of things that are happening behind the scenes. This is why I'm so calm. This is why I'm so stoic. This is why I'm long-term. We know that the partnership between Franklin Templeton. So we had DBS Bank and Ripple to deliver tokenized trading and lending solutions via Benji technology platform. Okay. More about liquidity. So Jack McDonald posted this. So Ripple posted, introducing the next building block on-chain markets. We're partnering with DSB Bank, which I just shared with you guys. And he posted this. Repo transactions volume is well into the tens of trillions globally. Nearly 12 trillion in US, near 12 trillion in repos in the US in 2024 itself. DSB Bank and FTI Global and Ripple will together enable the first ever repo trade for tokenized money, market fund with RLUSD, and regulated stable and liquid mode of exchange. Okay. Good Morning Crypto posted this. Breaking: XRP ETF passes 24 million in volume during the first 90 minutes, which we talked about. This is what the Rex shares officially launches its first US spot ETS for Doge and XRP. And wrapping up here, and then I'll give you guys exactly what I'm doing. We'll talk a little bit about inflation and interest rates. Michael Saylor: if Bitcoin hits 100 trillion, expect 200 trillion of credit built on top of it. This thing is going to be huge.
This thing is going to be big. There's no reason that credit, digital credit, the credit on gold became bigger than the gold supply. The digital credit may be bigger than the Bitcoin network. If Bitcoin goes to 100 trillion or 200 trillion, there could be 200 trillion of credit on top of it. You know, you may not want to issue it. That's up to you. Someone will want to buy it. You know, and that is the future that the market will determine. And the market is 100 industries, 100 capital markets. And your job as a Bitcoin treasury company, solve the problem, solve the compliance problem, solve the tax problem, solve the issuance problem, solve the credit problem, do the marketing, do the product designs.
Okay. So I'm going to share with you my thought process and bring you into the mindset of Coach JV. Okay. So I'm going to share with you what I do for business, and I'm going to share with you how I am innovating our business. Okay. And so I'll share with you personal, and I want to take you to the business structure. I just got off the phone with my COO and we were talking about this. Okay. So I'm just going to take you into the brain of Coach JV. And so my job as the CEO of multiple companies is to increase the enterprise value of my companies, right? One of my companies has shareholders, a few shareholders that bought equity in one of our companies, one of our main ecosystems. So the way my ecosystem is set up, I have 3T Warrior Academy, which is an ecosystem, right? That's our main corporation, our main company. We have Freedom Insurance. We have a software company called Blockheads, owns Merlin's smartest way to track your crypto. I have Refined Integrity, which is a men's coaching program. We have Age of Radio. We have a business. I have Freedom Asset Management Group. So I built an ecosystem. That's why I use the word ecosystem. I don't like the word corporation. I mean, they're under S Corp, blah, blah, blah. But I have ecosystems, right? And so I built solutions that help humanity. That's what we do. Okay. So that's what I did with my income from the bull market last bull market is I didn't buy Lambos, Ferraris, big houses. I bought businesses. I scaled businesses, right? So I worked to create cash flow because I was learning all this stuff. So the important part of what he's talking about here is a lot of companies on the S&P are creating Bitcoin treasuries. Now, I want to share with you just my mindset, and I'd love to hear your guys' comments down below, but it's working for us. And all I can measure is what works. Like, I believe in God and Jesus Christ, and why I do is because it's worked for my life. And so I'm going to share with you what works for me personally, what works for me professionally, okay? So from a company level, what I've done is I've taken my personal strategy of Bitcoin, XRP, cash generating dividends, and I actually moved it up into the company level. So I had a meeting with my CFO. We created a treasury, which is a fancy name for so for example, we have a treasury meeting. We have the head of the treasury, right? And so the treasury meeting means how much Bitcoin do we have? How much XRP do we have? How much cash do we have? That's what a treasury means, right? Now, I'm not sure if he has a different model or if treasury company means something different, but to us, what treasury means is how much cash do we have? How much crypto do we have? How many dividends do we have? What are we looking at? So as a business owner, I'm innovating into the future and trying to prepare for what I believe is one of the greatest transfers of wealth in history. So with my companies, what we're doing is, and I'll just take an example of the main company. So we run about a 20% profit margin. Okay. So when we run a 20% profit margin, what we do after profit sharing and all these different things with our team, we take 20% of 20% profit margin and we allocate that into things like Bitcoin, XRP, cash generating dividends. So our goal is with our cash generating dividends is to do what? Create cash flow and to beat inflation, right? So when we create cash flow, what do? We de-risk back into deflationary assets that have fixed supply. Now, why are we doing that? So when people are running a 20, this is my how my brain works. From 2020 to 2024, if we had a 19% inflation, that means you essentially lost 19% purchasing power of your dollar. So what we were doing from a personal level and a professional level is we were transmuting some of our profits, which is cash, which is deflating in our bank account, and we transmuted some of that that's crushing inflation. For example, from a personal level, as people lost 19% purchasing power on their dollar, I stored my wealth in Bitcoin and XRP. My XRP from 2020 to Trump getting elected went up 800%, and my Bitcoin went up 200%. I'm not smarter than anybody else. I just beat inflation. I was like, okay, this is inflationary. This is collapsing every single time they lower interest rates. And they're about to do it again. So why would I hold my money in something that's devaluing every single day? When they dropped the interest rates yesterday, your dollar went down. So you got poorer yesterday, unless you transmute that into something that beats inflation. Okay. So now when we beat inflation, now we have a Bitcoin bank, we can leverage against. We have our XRP treasury, right? We have a foundation for it as well. We have that set up. We have our cash generating dividends that are generating dividends. And our goal is to eventually have enough dividends that actually pays the debts and non-negotiables for the business, just like I did with my personal. Okay. What I'm trying to explain to you is a system. I created a system. It works. An idiot with a plan is going to do much better with a genius with no plan. So I did this at a personal level, and then we did it at a professional level. So now my goal is I don't care about the bull and bear market. I'm not even worried about it. I have exit targets on the way up. Okay, let's put Bitcoin off to the side for our company and myself. Bitcoin will never be sold. It's the most valuable asset we hold. We're going to hold that forever. We'll leverage it. Okay. My job is to increase the enterprise value of my companies for our shareholders and for our team and our ecosystem. I'm going to be 50. I'm 49. So 10 years from now, what would we be in 20? What would it be? 2020, 10 years. Well, my brain is not picking this up. So I'll be 49 years old, 59 years old, and I want to start landing the plane, right? My job is to make sure that these companies will go into lifetime. So we're modeling what people like Michael Saylor are doing, these companies on the S&P. We're building treasuries. So we're cash flow quadrating our money. So when we make money, we're making our money make money, richest man in Babylon. Does that make sense? Hopefully this is making sense. Give me a thumbs up or yes. And if you enjoy this type of content where I explain this, I just want to get you into my brain. So today is Friday that I'm doing this video. I got paid today from salary from being a CEO. Okay. Now, when that money comes in, is anything outside of debts and non-negotiables, right, is either going to go into cash flow, cash generating dividends. It's either going to go into an asset that's going to beat inflation, or those two right there. Okay. Then monthly, I pump money into my premiums. Then when my assets profit, I pull some off the table and I stuff it into cash value life insurance. That's my first bucket. Okay. That allows me to multiply my money because now I can borrow at 5% for the year, and I can buy what? More assets that beat inflation, pay off the debt, do it again. Okay. So that's getting you into my brain and what I'm doing. So instead of thinking in the short term for my companies, I'm thinking long term, I'm thinking treasury. So my goal is by 2030 and beyond, and it's just math, right? It's there's no emotion in it, right? The crypto doesn't care about me, the market doesn't care about me. It's just, but I care about my team members, I care about my ecosystem, I care about our legacy. So I'm thinking way forward and saying, okay, where are we heading, right? Think about this. With AI technology, would you agree or disagree that things are in advance like this? What took 18 years going from a flip phone to literally AI technology will now take 3 years. Okay. What's in 3 years, what takes 3 years will take 6 months with AI technology getting smarter every single day. What took 6 months in 3 years is now going to take 30 days. We're using AI technology in our companies. One of our companies, we built CRM, AI technology in the background. We've almost 4x'd our revenue with systems, and we're just tapping into it. I mean, I'm like, whoa, the efficiency. Okay. So as an individual, I want you to start to think like a corporation. Number one, you just got promoted to CEO of your own life. Okay, cool. Number two is you no longer work for money. Money works for you. Those are two things you need to change in your mind. So if you got paid today and today is Friday, do you have a plan for your money? 99.9% of you, the answer is no. You literally get your paycheck and you try to survive and you frivolously spend on being this is how it works. They trained us to do this. You don't have a dollar cost average plan. You're just buying off of hype. You listen to some influencer and you hear some influencer fudge you in and you panic sell. That is not a plan. I'm stoic. Nobody can FUD me in. Nobody can FUD me out. I don't care what you say about Bitcoin. I believe in it. I'm building wealth with it. I built a firm with it. So it doesn't matter what people say. For example, I believe in God and Jesus Christ with all of my heart. Nobody can tell me that it's not real. Does that make sense? I believe in XRP and Bitcoin. I'm convicted. So nobody can FUD me in and FUD me out. It doesn't matter what the comments are or what you say. It's like I don't make my decisions off faceless people on the internet. I make my decisions on facts, figures, numbers, logic, and things that I can actually measure, which are A times E equals R. I'm getting a result. Therefore, the activity is the right one and it's effective. So why would you make your decisions off somebody off the internet that's getting you all emotionally charged? It doesn't make any sense, guys. These are lessons I'm teaching you. This is wisdom. Okay. If you're not getting a result, either your activity is wrong or you're not effective at the activity. And you probably haven't done it long enough to even get a result. That's what's effed up about crypto is people are convincing you, these influencers, that you're going to be a multi-millionaire in the next 90 days. You don't want to be a multi-millionaire in the next 90 days. You know why? Because if you don't have it now, that millions is going to be gone like that. You have to build a structure, build a foundation, be patient, be persistent, pray for wisdom. Don't pray for wealth. Pray for the wisdom that when you get this wealth, that you'll be able to multiply the wealth, because we're looking for freedom, not for fame. We're looking for freedom, not for edification. We're looking for freedom, not for stuff. And it doesn't mean you can't buy stuff, but you buy it with assets. Okay. So I'm going to keep building out this framework and explaining more about inflation and beating hurdle rates and things like that. But that's what we're doing at a company level. So every single time we get paid, we're from a personal level and a company level, we're working to increase the enterprise value by beating inflation. Okay. So if you're a business owner and you're literally just working your ass off and you're getting all this money, you're literally getting money in something that's deflating. And if you run a business for over 35 years and you didn't beat 2% inflation every single year, which most businesses do, you probably wouldn't be in business, but inflation isn't 2%, just so you guys know. It's much higher than that. So that's just math. At 2% inflation every 35 years, your money gets cut in half. So I don't like people taking my money. I don't like people messing with my family. It's God, family, protect my ecosystem at all costs. I stay out of other men's business. I'm too busy working on mine. I don't like people messing with my money. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, Warriors, let's get your shit together. Love you guys.